Hey everyone, it's Kaycie, and thanks for tuning in for today's Stretch and Mobilize class. The focus is on heart opening and into the shoulders. So we will use 2 blocks, especially for our last position. If you don't have blocks, you can probably do everything leading up to and just skip over that part, or find some blocks or some pillows at home that you can use in replacement of. So let's jump in here. We're going to start off in a child's pose. So coming onto your hands and knees, maybe separating the knees or bring them together. Let the big toes connect and just let your body weight sink down towards the ground. Let the forehead drop. If not down onto the ground, maybe stacked hands, or you can use a block for support as well. Now, as you settle here, just let your entire body relax for now. Let yourself enjoy the stillness, that little bit of calm. Today's practice will have some engagement, but we'll also have some nice releasing as well. So tapping into that here in this space. Exhale, let everything out of your lungs, melt it out. Slow, intentional breath in. Gather the breath through the lower belly and back. Up into your ribs, feel your mid-back lifting all the way up into your chest and your upper back as it opens, holding here. Open up the mouth and exhale, sigh it out of your body. 2 more deep breaths. Inhale, gather the breath from the bottom. Slowly scooping it up, any residual tension lingering in the body. Lifting it up towards the chest, the throat, holding it. This time we're going to keep the breath through the nose. As you exhale, gently melt the breath back out from the top to the mid and all the way out through your belly. Go ahead and take 1 more here, completely on your own. Fill up the lungs as slowly as it feels good. And be mindful in your breath as you melt it back out, slow and steadily. Try to match that pace. Now relaxing the breath once you've completed that deep exhalation. And as you relax it back a little bit, you're going to allow it to find more of its natural flow and rhythm. Still full, still expansive, but a little less controlled or forced. And then find some movement through your fingertips and through your toes. Maybe rock your head side to side, getting a little opening through your forehead. And then as the arms extend forward into more of an active child's pose, the elbows lift off the ground, maybe even come up onto your fingertips. Lightly pressing your fingers or your hands down into the ground, and then imagine pulling the ground towards you. And then let's press the ground away. Long spine breath in, walking your hands off to the right side of the mat. Walking all the way off of the mat as far as it feels good. Once that right hand plants, maybe continue to walk your left hand over towards the right hand. It might even start to rest on top. And feel the heaviness drop back into your left hip, getting that nice opening through the side body. And then inhale, come back up through center, long spine. And exhale, walk it off to the left side. Same thing once that left hand plants. Really reach out through the right fingertips, maybe walk them over a little bit more to the left. Maybe the hand even settles right on top. Deep breathing. And then walking the hands all the way back to center. And then rock your weight up into a tabletop position. And as you stack your joints, shoulders over wrists, knees underneath the hips, let's take a deep breath in with a neutral spine to begin. And exhale, chin to your chest, wrap the tail under, curl your spine, coming into this scared cat shape. And then inhale, drop the belly down, scoop the heart up, lift the sit bones, coming into your cow position. And exhale, rounding the back again, curling everything in, feel the belly button lifting towards the spine. Inhale, open. Go ahead and give yourself a couple more rounds with your breath, incorporating the movement of your choosing. Let it be a little more intuitive. Let yourself just move in the ways that feel good. And then we're going to slowly make our way back into neutral. Let's walk the knees and the feet together and just sit back onto the heels. So a couple options. If sitting back on the heels does not feel good on your knees or your ankles, you can either sit on a block or 2 blocks to prop the hips up, or just come to a cross-legged seated position, and you can do the same things from there. So as you are, begin to take the arms behind your back, and we're going to interlace the fingers. And as you interlace through the fingers, it's okay for the palms to separate, and just slowly begin to extend the arms as much as you can. If you like having the palms connected and it feels okay for your body, great, take that variation. As you extend out through the arms, just begin to lift the arms away from your lower back as much as it feels okay. Feel the heart opening here. One more breath. Now you're slowly going to try to hold this shape as best as you can, but let your fingers slowly release away from each other. And imagine actively trying to reach them back towards one another while lifting the arms away from your back, getting that nice engagement here. And then slowly you're going to turn the fingertips down towards the ground, palms down. And as the fingers reach down, you're going to keep the ribs and heart open. Really reach your tail down and imagine there's a string attached to your chest, lifting it straight up. Start to lift your focal point up. You can stay here, or maybe you lean back just slightly, fingertips touch down to the ground. And we're not sinking into the fingertips. If anything, they might even hover, still lifting up through your chest, keeping the upper back engagement. One more breath. Slowly lift the spine, arms to your sides. From here, arms reach up, deep breath in. You're going to interlace your fingers, flip the palms up towards the ceiling, reaching up over your head. We're going to get a little kind of scapular movement here. So inhale, press the palms up, lift the shoulders up. And then exhale, relax the shoulders a little bit. Again, inhale, press, lift. And then exhale, melt the shoulders. Begin to bend the elbows, pull the elbows back as you open up the chest, let the head cradle back into your hands. Maybe it feels good, a little side to side with your elbows, maybe staying still feels better. And then as you come to center, release the fingers, pull the elbows wide, keep the heart open, and then sweep the arms all the way down to your sides. Pull the shoulders forward and up, and exhale, release them all the way back down. Let's come back through tabletop and slowly lower down onto your forearms. Walking your forearms towards the front of the mat, begin to walk your knees back until you can melt the hips to the floor and untuck your toes. So we're in this Sphinx position where the elbows are stacked directly underneath your shoulders, palms are down, fingers spread open. And then as you press your feet and your legs towards the floor, feeling the quads engage, equally ground down through your elbows, forearms, hands, and fingers, and press down into the ground, and then begin to pull your hands back as though you're pulling back towards your hip line. And feel your ribs start to draw forward, feel your heart lifting up nice and tall. Another breath. Now you're going to keep the heart lifted, slowly start to open up the elbows. And you're gonna try to keep the heart lifted as much as you can, pulling the hands back underneath your shoulders. Still keeping the heart up, feet pressing into the ground. Try not to lift with your head. Keep your neck neutral and feel the back body engaging. One more breath here. Now we're gonna keep the heart lifted. Take the hands down to your sides, palms facing one another. Maybe interlace the fingers behind your back, drawing through the knuckles, heart up. One more breath here. And then stay, or maybe float your legs up for a little bit more back activation. Press down through the hip points, lifting your heart, maybe lifting your legs. One more breath. And then exhale, come all the way down. Release your hands, stack your hands underneath your forehead, relax your head down. And then bend the knees and windshield wiper your feet side to side. Legs come all the way back down to the ground. Plant the hands underneath your shoulders or maybe along your ribs. Elbows draw in, feet press down into the ground. Inhale, come up into your cobra variation. So begin to lift forward and up. And then same thing, you're gonna press into the hands and imagine pulling your hands back towards the hips. It's okay to bend the elbows here to create more space for the ribs and heart to open, chest up. One more deep breath. And then slowly pull the hips back into a hinge, coming onto hands and knees. We're gonna slowly walk forward and the hands are gonna come towards the top of your mat. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna kind of curl the hands over the top of the mat so we get a nice little grip. Hands are about shoulder width apart. It's okay to have them a little wider, especially if your shoulders are pretty tight. So as you have that here, you're gonna walk the knees back. We're gonna keep the hips stacked above the knees, and then slowly start to melt the chest towards the ground, coming into a puppy pose. Now it's okay to drop the elbows here, but I want you to keep your arms engaged. Keep the heart melting, sit bones tilting up. And then as you grip the mat, I want you to push the mat away from you. Feel the activation all the way up into the shoulders as the heart melts. Take another breath. And then energetically, imagine pulling the ground back towards you. Hands are pulling. Feel that difference in sensation in the shoulders. One more breath. Slowly rocking forward and up, walk the hands back in. And as you come into tabletop position, let's round our backs. Tuck the chin, tuck the tail. Hold here, another breath. Re-neutralizing through the spine. Let's make our way into a nice cross-legged seated position to start, just for the setup. And we're gonna take the right leg, kick it out to the right side, left foot to the inside of your thigh. Okay, from here, we're gonna kind of go back and forth between some heart opening and some side body opening. So right arm drops to the inside of your right leg. Left arm reaches up towards the ceiling. Take a deep breath in, lift the spine, and then start to walk the right fingertips down the length of the right leg. And then press the arm into the leg. Even if you want to drop the elbow, totally fine, but use it to press into the leg to open up your ribs and chest. Left arm reaching over your head. One more breath. Now, inhale, come all the way up, set the left hand down to the floor right behind you. Right arm sweeps back, open up the chest. Stay here or press through that front knee and front foot, lifting the hips, opening up the chest. Another breath here. And then slowly bring it all the way back down. Nice. Let's switch sides. Bend the right knee in, sweep the left leg out to the left side. Left hand drops down to the inside of the leg. Right arm reaches up. Lifting the spine, deep breath in. And then walking the left hand down the length of the left leg. Maybe start to bend the elbow, maybe it lowers towards the ground. Press the arm into the leg, spiral the heart open, and then reach the right arm over your head. Keep the heart spiraling, keep reaching out, make sure your breath is there. Inhale, come all the way up. Right hand sets down to the ground, left arm sweeps back as you open up the chest. Lift the heart, stay here, or press into the front legs, lifting the hips, opening up the chest. One extra breath. Slowly bring it all the way back down. Now as you do, let's take both legs in front of you, feet flat to the ground, drop back onto your hands here. Windshield wiper the knees from side to side. Okay, I'm just going to turn on my mat so that you can see what my arms are doing, but you can stay right where you are. As you drop back onto your hands, you're going to spin the fingers to point away from one another, okay, maybe a little wider than your shoulders. And then you're going to begin to bend the elbows towards one another. It doesn't have to be that much, just bending them in the general direction towards each other. Now, as you keep them bending inward, stay, and then slowly begin to lift up through your ribs and your chest. Let's take another breath here. And then straighten the arms, drop the chest, spin your fingers now so that they're facing in the direction of your hips. So fingers pointing towards the hips. Keep your hands about shoulder width apart. Now we're going to start with the knees bent, but I'll offer another variation for intensity if you'd like that. So as you press to the hands, lift the chest. Stay here. Maybe lift the hips. Maybe they lift a little, maybe they lift all the way up. You can also lengthen back through your throat and your chin to get some more extension through the neck. If you want that deeper variation, this is reverse tabletop, but if you're wanting reverse plank, extend the legs out, feet together, point the toes and reach them towards the ground. One more breath. Try to point the shoulders forward. And then slowly melt the hips all the way down. Head comes all the way up. Bend the knees, and as you sit up, go ahead and wrap your arms around the legs here for a moment, rounding over. Okay, we are going to do one more nice little setup here. And this setup is going to come into a supported fish pose, which is one of my absolute favorites. So one is going to support the head at the back of the mat. One is going to support the heart, okay? And think about this spot being right underneath your shoulders, not in your shoulder blades, under your shoulder blades, right into that thoracic spine. Okay, you can either create a ramp with your blocks at any height, okay? You can create a nice shelf where both blocks are even, okay? That's great. And then if you want more intensity, then you can also create an arch where you can either eliminate one block and keep the one behind the heart, or you can bring it up to a higher setting and get the head lower than the heart, okay? It's your choice if you want to create that little bench, that flat, if you want to create an arc, or if you want to create more of that ramping effect where the head will come higher, your choice, okay? So go ahead and set up your blocks. You don't have to have it all figured out right now. You can adjust once you get in, once your body starts speaking to you a little bit. But set up that first block. Once again, I like to say bra strap line. We all generally know where that's at, and making sure it's not pushing into your shoulder blades. Your shoulder blades should be free, and then grabbing for the second block once you have the first set up, and relaxing your head down onto it. If the head's too high and you want to bring it down, you can. If it feels like your head's not supported enough, lift it up a little bit higher. Make those little tweaks and adjustments. And this one's going to be fully relaxing We did a lot of kind of engagement. So now just feeling that softening effect. Your legs can do anything you want them to do. Maybe keep them bent, straighten them out, or if you want extra points here for some hip opening if that feels good. It's always nice when you can get those extra stretches in those places just by adding on these little variations, these little offerings to the body. Sometimes they feel good, sometimes they don't. And you don't know until you try. That's the best thing about this practice, is the freedom of exploration within our own bodies. We all feel differently. All of our practices are going to feel and look different. That's pretty amazing. We can all gain benefits from wherever we are. Let's take about 5 more slow breaths in and out of the nose. Try to breathe as slowly as you can. Don't rush. Okay, so if you are pretty close to the ground, sometimes it feels good just to kind of roll and rock onto your side, come into a fetal position, and then press up from there. Otherwise, if your legs are butterflied, lift those first. You're gonna use the elbows to the ground to help lift the chin to the chest, walk the elbows back, come up onto the hands one at a time. Walk yourself all the way up to a seat. Knees bent, and just let your body round over your legs. Whatever position you're in, slowly making your way into this nice curl, softening back into the spine. Let's take another breath. And then make your way all the way back up. You can set your blocks out of your way. And then we're just going to finish off with a couple twists and then a couple breaths and a little bit of stillness before we close out. So arms reach up, take a deep inhale, lifting the spine. And exhale, you're going to twist to the right side, left hand to your right knee, and take the right fingertips to the ground behind your hips. Long spine, deep breath in, really draw up through the crown of your head, keep the lower back long and lifted. Exhale, rotate your ribs and chest off to that right side, maybe look back over your right shoulder. 2 more breaths here, keep lengthening on each inhale and rotating on the exhale. You can even start to walk your right fingertips around that left side body, around the hip, maybe even settles into that inner left thigh. Last breath here. Inhale, come back to center, reach your arms up high. And exhale, twist to the left side. Switch the crossing of the hands, right hand to left knee, left fingertips to the floor, lifting the spine, deep inhale. And exhale, twist. Let's take a few breaths, lengthening, and then rotating ribs, chest, maybe focal point. Take a couple more here. Once again, you can stay. Maybe that left arm starts to wrap around the back. Maybe it weaves around the side or even hooks to the inner right thigh. Slowly unravel to center, arms reach up, deep breath in. And exhale, join your hands down together at your heart center. Take a moment, just close your eyes. We're going to take 3 slow, calming breaths in just a moment of stillness. So release your breath out. Slow inhale from the bottom, mid, chest and shoulders, holding it here. Through the nose, exhale from the top to the mid, and out through the bottom. Again, inhale from the bottom, mid, all the way up into your chest and shoulders, holding. Exhale through the chest, the ribs, the belly. Take one more on your own. And once you complete that exhale, just let yourself be still, relax your breath, and just be here for a moment. And then thanking your bodies for all that they do for you, the ability to even show up and be on our mats today. And thank you so much for allowing me to guide you. Namaste. Thanks so much. I hope that the hearts are feeling more open, shoulders, the chest, all the good stuff. Let me know in the comments, share with someone you think may enjoy, and don't forget to hit subscribe. I'll see you soon. Thanks so much again.